Around 5 years ago, I started to feel a little bit tired of my acoustic guitar sound, and I started thinking about expanding my pedal board, looking for new sounds, new ways to perform. And to be honest, just looking to have more fun jamming with the looper pedals. Around that time, I discovered Loopy Pro, and the fact that people seriously using iPad or iPhone to record and to perform music. I thought maybe I should give it a go, because it's not a toy anymore. There are really good sounding apps and audio plugins, and it's more than just a GarageBand. So 4 years later, was it worth it or not? Yeah, it's not a tutorial, it's not an overview, it's just my personal experience performing with this, practicing with this, having fails with this, and conclusions I came to as a guitar player. Starting point. I play acoustic guitar, so it's been really easy for me to try. I just downloaded Loopy Pro on my iPhone. There is a built-in mic. I plugged my headphones to avoid feedback issues and to stop playback loops bleeding into the mic. I played for a little bit and realized that it actually works. Looper works, and I can have as many tracks, independent tracks, as I want. Frankly speaking, iPhone's mic is not bad, but it's not the type of workflow you bring on stage, right? So I started experimenting with audio interfaces. At the moment, I got iPhone with Lightning, so I bought Lightning to USB adapter or USB to Lightning. Anyway, and I started testing all the audio interfaces I got, and at this point this stopped feeling like a toy and started feeling like a platform to perform and platform that could grow with you. My old stage rig. At that point on stage, I was already using Line 6 HX Stomp as my main rig. I got my clean acoustic guitar sound preset there, with all the tone shaping blocks like EQ, compressor, etc. But also I got a few experimental presets, and I've been trying to play with the HX Stomp built-in looper, which is not the best idea, to be honest. Then I've been trying to pair it with the Electro-Harmonix 22500. It's alright, but it's limited to 2 tracks. And I've been thinking about buying Iros, the one with the 6 tracks. But I discovered that HX Stomp is an audio interface as well, so I connected straight to an iPhone, and here I got unlimited amount of tracks for live looping and all my favorite presets in the Stomp, and zero latency monitoring, because it's directly from the Stomp. So I've been using iPhone just as a looper, no extra plugins, no extra effects, all the effects inside HX Stomp. And I've been using floor MIDI controller as well. It's Morningstar MC8, and it controls both HX Stomp and iPhone with the Loopy Pro app to record loops, play loops, stop loops. Everything inside this app might be controlled over MIDI controller. Then I discovered that Zoom H6 works. Great sounding stereo mics, a lot of fun jamming with the loops and having awesome audio quality. It's not the stage setup, but it's quite a step up from iPhone's built-in mic. I got a dedicated video on that, and I tested just a regular audio interfaces, just desktop audio interface, the one you might be using to record something into a computer, and it works. Plug your guitar directly or use condenser mics. It works with the Loopy Pro as well. It became obvious that Loopy Pro is highly customizable system. You can build your own layout, your own interface, but iPhone screen is quite limited in terms of just space and size. So I bought an iPad. It was the most affordable new iPad at the moment, iPad 9. And another nice thing about Loopy Pro that you buy once and you get it both for iPad and iPhone, and it's just the same app for iPad. All the same, just bigger. Easier to move things around, and it's easier to make those tutorials and explain things to students. So yeah. FX plugins. Loopy Pro app includes some basic plugins, reverb, EQ, and compression. To be honest, it's a perfect combo for acoustic guitar. And at first, that was enough. But at some point, I started hitting the limits of HX Stomp. I wanted to experiment. I wanted more effects, more blocks engaged, delays, reverbs, granular effects, long, beautiful tails. So I started adding effects inside Loopy Pro on top of my basic sound coming from HX Stomp. That's when Loopy Pro stopped being just a looper and started being a real part of my sound. Over time, I realized that I can build my own version of something like microcosm pedal or stuff Chase Blaze do. It's more than just a reverb or delay. It's a combination of plugins, the way I like it to build. I can route audio wherever I like using built-in mixer. I can create my own interface for that using knobs, faders, buttons, and create my custom workflow for that. I start recording my jumps I've been playing in real time. Then I realized that there are enough tracks to release an album, so you can have a listen. Additionally, I've created a dedicated playlist on the channel. Then I created a course called Ambient Machine, so you can learn how to create soundscapes using the most minimalistic setup. Yeah, I'll leave the link down below. At some point, I've been experimenting using millions of plugins, so my iPad 9 started to hit CPU limits, and to be honest, lightning adapters became really annoying, so I switched to iPad Air with the M1 chip and, what's most important, with the USB-C. It's much more easier, and you can find USB-C adapters or USB cable anywhere. And transition was effortless. I just restored everything from iCloud, all my presets, all my templates, they were there. Gigs, files, and Plan B. On stage, my setup looked like this. HX Stomp as a main part, all the tone shaping stuff, iPad for looping and extra effects, everything controlled via floor MIDI controller, and I always knew that if the iPad failed, I could simply keep playing through Stomp exactly like I did before discovering Loopy Pro. There was always a plan B, and it saved me twice. The first time I simply forgot a USB cable, but it was a 10-minute performance, so I played only through HX Stomp. Plan B worked. And the second time, during a solo concert, was great. The sun was shining, but the problem, the sun was shining directly onto the iPad for more than an hour, so iPad overheated and just failed. I had a couple more songs to play, so I just played them through HX Stomp because it was in the shade, and I just finished my set. So the takeaways are simple: always carry spare cables, keep your iPad in the shade, or if you're playing in hot conditions, try using something like this small fan attached to the back of an iPad. It might help.
Why I ditch the HX Stomp?
I still love HX Stomp. I think it sounds great. It's an amazing little box, and it can handle 2 inputs, but actually it can send 2 extra inputs to Loopy Pro, so 4 inputs. It sounds even better in combo with the Loopy Pro. It sounds even better in combo with the Loopy Pro, and I was so inspired by that combo, so I created a course about it, HX Stomp and Loopy Pro. But it has its own limitations for my use case. I got quite specific use case. I play fingerstyle guitar, so I got 4 pickups here. Each one needs to be processed individually. And HX Stomp is limited to 8 blocks of effects. At some point, working on a big screen became much more convenient. Let's take a simple EQ. You can see everything here. You can make really subtle changes, and it's really amazing tool, not only for tone shaping, but for performances, for sound checks, and it's much easier to work with rather than HX Stomp. And you can add as many plugins as you want. The only limit is CPU power. So I decided to move my tone shaping blocks from HX Stomp to an iPad and have everything in one place. Main tone, extra effects, and my looper. So I got 4 input channels audio interface, Arturia Mini Fuse 4, and replaced HX Stomp with it. I built my main tone with the plugins inside my iPad, and the first gig that was fully plugin based was in September 2025. To be honest, I still carried my Trust HX Stomp as a backup, as a plan B, but I never had to use it, so it's a good sign, right? And you've been asking about latency in the comments. So latency, it depends on CPU power of your Apple device, iPad or iPhone. It depends on audio interface you're using. I've been using Mini Fuse 4, which is great, and now I'm testing Motu or audio interface. It depends on plugins you're using, because some plugins add a lot to latency. And of course, it depends on buffer size you choose inside Loopy Pro settings. Anyway, for me, latency is playable, but I feel like I'll make a dedicated video on that topic. So was it worth it? For me, for my use case, for my workflow, for my ideas, definitely yes, because my setup is still quite small. Audio interface, iPad, and floor MIDI controller. And with this, I can do basically everything that I can imagine. For example, is it possible to replace both octave effect with tracking just a low E string and A string? Yeah, I can do this. What if I'd like to have reversed delay with overdrive on top of my acoustic sound? What if I'd like to have really popular effects for lo-fi beats inspired by Roland SP404? What if I'd like to try Digitact style workflow? There are apps that I can use as standalone apps or integrate them into Loopy Pro. I feel like each of those topics might be topics for a dedicated video on my channel or on my Patreon. Yeah, by the way, I got a Patreon page when you can find deeper tutorials and support my work. Anyway, it's all about creating your own tool, your own instrument, and that's what I love about that type of workflow, that type of platform. That's why for me, personally, 4 years of Loopy Pro, definitely, absolutely worth it. And I'll keep on working with it if you don't mind. Anyway, share your own experience in comments. I'll leave all the links in the description. And thanks for watching this video. Subscribe. All right? Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice if you'll subscribe. See you around. Cheers.
If you're still here, it seems like you're really interested, right? Well, then you can save 10% of Loopy Pro app. I got a discount promo code. And I've made a video course called Quick Start in Loopy Pro for guitar players. Both those wonderful things you can find on my website loopymax.com or links in the description. Now that's it.